Oregon Springs. I am just doing a few touch-ups on the yard here. A little grass cutting this morning. It is a beautiful morning, late spring here. 50 degrees outside. Yes, it is absolutely lovely. Just trying out my Profi Hopper. You know, you got to try out the new toys. Absolutely, you got to try out the new toys. Shut that down. That is a wonderful thing. I absolutely love it. It worked out good. Grass is not quite that high, but that's okay. As you can tell, I did some logging overnight. I did a lot of logging, actually. What did I do? 3-4 loads? I can't remember. And then late last night when it got dark, I got some logs on the trailer that'll have to be sold later on. Kind of an ugly load. That is a very, very ugly load that I have on that trailer. So we'll go do that later on. But right now, here's kind of the plan for today. I want to go get those sugar beets sprayed. Field 29. I want to get that taken care of. And then I can see the outside of the building. There we go. Very nice. Let's just take a inside view here. And then get some soybeans planted. That is kind of the game plan for today. I kind of made a decision. I kind of thought what I was going to do. Thinking it would be a good idea, that new logging area that we have been working on where I'm cutting down trees now, I think that would be good in grass. You know, I don't own any grass fields, so I think I'm going to plant grass in that. I think that would work out just fine. It's kind of difficult, I think, to put crops in that area, so I think that'd be a good grass area. Use that for baling and stuff. Let me just load up the sprayer here, and then we'll go get some beets sprayed. Field 29. If we look at the map, where am I going here? Whoops, there we are. Field 29. Go over here. Right here. This is sugar beets. This needs to be sprayed. Like I said, we're going to hold off on the wheat until I can, until that grows up a little bit. And then these two fields need to be seeded with soybeans. So that's kind of the game plan. The other thing, I don't know yet if I'm going to plant. Are we full? Okay. We'll just turn off the truck. I don't know if I'm going to plant the soybeans with the drill or the planter. I haven't quite decided that yet. I don't know what the best... probably the drill, though, just because of the shapes. Might be a little bit difficult for the planter. But we'll see when that time comes. We'll get this sprayed first. And then go from there. I am kind of happy with the logging. Because I was adding up in my head here how much equipment's going to cost down the road, and that's going to be spendy. Very, very spendy. So that logging income sure does help a lot, and I'll keep going on with that this evening. Get some more of that logged, and then I want to try to get that planted with grass. That would be outstanding. Very, very good. And then we'll get, I don't know how much planting we'll get done. If we can get both seeded today, that would be okay. Our forecast looks pretty darn good. I am a little puzzled, to be honest with you. It seems like every time I come into the game, it changes. But, oh well. I don't know. I didn't think that it did that much. But we can just kind of go from there. Let's see. How did I plant this now? Well, I suppose I wouldn't know because it's just going to be able... It's just going to go by what season has it, so... That unfolded out. There we go. Beautiful day. 52 degrees. We are having a heat wave, I tell you. A heat wave. Darn near summertime. Too bad I couldn't jump in that pond, but for some reason there's some imaginary wall. I can't jump in there. Maybe I'll have to put in a swimming pool at the farm. That would work. Try not to get killed by traffic here. Let's see, how did I do this? Right about there. beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful day to be spraying. Can't really see much out that side. Oh, I really can't turn my head around 360 degrees. So yeah, that wasn't the best there. Nice, good stuff. This morning I did put out a video on explaining the difference in the geomods, and kind of interesting. It's also a cool thing when you can kind of look at that for yourself, take time to do that. And it was interesting. There's a question this morning from Troll Farmer. What would happen if you loaded a game with two different season geomods, Paraguay and northern Sweden? And I believe I did that once, but I did it again, and it was kind of interesting, because you'd think that the game would maybe crash, you'd have a bunch of glitches. I think that's what Realism states. But interestingly enough, it just ran the Paraguay geo. So when you opened up the season's calendar, it just kind of went out based off that. But I suppose you would have problems down the road. But I guess never really occurred to me that would be something that'd be a good idea to do. But anyways, it made me thinking, what would be a good geo mod on this map? There isn't one really based on the Northwest United States. There is the U.S. Midwest, but that's based on Missouri. Big difference in climate between Missouri and Oregon. I wonder how close the Wales one would be. When I think of the Northwest, Oregon, Washington, you think a lot of rain. So I'm wondering how that one would have worked. Maybe that would have been something to check out, but without going into too much detail on comparing climates between two different locations, I really wouldn't know. But the standard geo here works just fine. Basically you're going to get your 4 seasons and possibly some snow, so that's okay. As far as I'm aware, I don't think areas in Oregon are doing much double cropping in a year. I don't think that's very common, if at all possible. I doubt it. So yeah, no, we'll stick with it. Interestingly enough, on Oakfield, with the standard geo they built in-game seasons geo, boy, am I getting a lot of snow. I have had more snow than I had playing with any geo or any other map. It's kind of interesting how much snow is falling. But at least it's the last day of winter, so the snow will go away. I know when seasons first came out, I'm just dying to get on there and get snow and try all the fancy ways of removing snow. And that was before they came out with the snow blower or the plow. So that was pretty cool. Then you think, I want to do snow, but then after a while, moving snow gets very old and tiresome. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward for winter to be over with on Oakfield. But anyways, enough of that blabber. We're almost finishing up here. Doesn't take very long with yipes, I jumped out of the sprayer. What in the world? I almost tried to kill myself. Yeah, good stuff. Fine looking sugar beets, though. I tell you, these are some nice looking sugar beets. Yes, they are. They're growing good. They are growing good. Interesting thing about sugar beets, and I probably maybe should have somehow implemented that into this series here, but in my neck of the woods, the sugar beet processing, the sugar beet company that is in the area, American Crystal Sugar, is a cooperative, so it's grower owned, and they have, let's see, five processing plants in the area. And the only way that you can grow sugar beets, if you are a farmer and want to grow sugar beets, you have to buy shares in the company, stock. And so one share will allow you to plant 1 acre of sugar beets. So you can't just wake up in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to plant sugar beets today. No, you have to have shares and a contract to be able to grow sugar beets. And they changed the rule not too long ago that that in order to buy shares, you also have to have land. So in other words, if you own shares of sugar beets, let's say you own 100 shares, so that allows you to plant 100 acres. You have to plant the sugar beets. You have to plant your shares. You can rent them out. That is fine. If somebody does not own shares, they can rent somebody else's shares and get a contract to plant sugar beets. But if you own shares, you have to plant them or have a penalty. So anyways, so then a bunch of people sitting in offices in New York and whatever started to buy shares as an investment to see if because most likely over the years the price per share goes up. Well, then they changed that you have to actually own land. So this kind of brought it back to the farmers and the growers who grew up. Now, farmers, when they get older and they retire, they still own land and they still own their shares and just rent them out. So, but yeah, it's kind of interesting how that works. I'm not familiar with other locations and other cooperatives. That's just the way it is in my neck of the woods. Might be different in other parts of the world or other parts of the U.S. I'm not familiar with it. I know in south of me there's another sugar beet cooperative, and that's kind of the same thing. It's also a cooperative, farmer-owned, grower-owned company that works the exact same way. But I don't know how it works overseas. I don't know how it works in Oregon here, for example. I'm assuming it's probably the same concept that it. Because that way they can control the acres of sugar beets that are being planted, because you certainly don't want to plant way too much that the supply goes way up and therefore price goes way down. There, that is field 29 completed. Awesome. Because I know right off the bat, when you start planting, you are allowed to plant your allotted shares. Up to 80%. So if you had 100 shares, you were allowed to plant, 80 acres. And that changes, because that can be adjusted. Most of the time, I want to say you're allowed to plant 100%, but then harvest time, you might not be able to harvest the whole 100%, depending on how the supply goes throughout the year. Kind of interesting how that works. Sugar beets is an interesting crop. It's certainly just not like wheat, barley, or soybeans, for example, where you just plant as much as you want and take it to the elevator, the mill, wherever you are, and selling it or storing it until the price goes up. So totally different business. I probably have mentioned this, but payment then of sugar beets is 3 times a year. So you get one usually before planting starts, you get one before harvest starts, and then one shortly after that. So it's not like you harvest all your sugar beets, take it in there and get a check the next week. It doesn't work that way. And there is no like you go like on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, for example, you can go and you can buy and sell wheat. Well, you can't go and buy and sell sugar beets. What you're buying and selling is the final product, sugar. So that's kind of based on how much growers will be paid ton per acre. That's how sugar beets are paid, in tons per acre. So yeah, a little sugar beet history this morning as we sprayed. Okay, that field is done. Now let's see. I think we will go, looking at the map, I think we will go and plant. I think we're going to try this one out, this triangle piece. I think if I use the air drill, I went around it and started here and just went back and forth, that would be just fine. We'll go try that one out. Yeah. No, spraying done. That one pretty easy. Not a humongous field, so it didn't seem to be too bad. Let's see. Our drill is in here. There we go. Okay, off to the tractor. I'll get things hooked up, ready to go. See if we need to put seed in there, and we'll be on our way. I think everything's hooked up, looks good, ready to go. We're going to use this. This will work out just fine because of the shape of the field and all that jazz. Fire this puppy up. Make sure I can get out of here without hitting anything. Yeah, I like this toy. This is a fun toy. Good New Holland. I like this tractor. I like the drill. Yep. Good to go. Oh boy. Let's see. I didn't. Looks like we got enough seed and fertilizer, I think. Oh wait, we don't have enough seed. Oh boy. We'll have to get some seed. I didn't look at that very carefully, did I? That'll work. We'll just have to imagination hats, pretending that we are filling that up. I do have the seed tender, but I haven't really had to use that yet because I haven't. I think we'll probably use it now, though. I'll have to get that hooked up and going because once we finish that field and get onto the other one, we might run. I don't know. That's hard to say. I don't know. Maybe we won't. Maybe we will. I'm gonna double check seasons. Oh yeah, we're plenty good to go. We probably could have gone yesterday, but with the rain and everything, we'll just get going now. That is perfectly fine. That's a big seed tank. $7,000 liters. Whew. And still going. We might as well put fertilizer in there, I suppose. While we're here. Almost did my neck thing again. No collisions on these things, though. Kind of walk right through them. I was mowing the yard, the lawnmower went right through it by accident. Wasn't trying to. Okay, that's done. didn't get planted on this you don't own this field kind of thing. Well, not too bad, I guess. Well, I don't know if that doesn't look planted there. Oh, that annoys me. That really does annoy me. Let me look at how far away I am from that field. I mean, for crying out loud, come on. Yeah, because it was planted here. Let me look. Oops, I don't want that. I want... Yeah. Missed this whole gap right here. Maybe if I come back the other way, that'll help. Boy, maybe I should just buy 25, but that's a huge field. Oh, just for the sake that it won't annoy me when you don't own this field. Maybe I have to go back and try to fix that. See if I can do that or not. I turn my beacons off. Go down to that corner. That's kind of the straight edge, and we'll just keep working back and forth that way. I think that'll work just fine. Yeah, I wish that this just irritates me. It just irritates me, I tell you. I wish that was different, but I wish we could get rid of it, but we can't. So we'll just make do with what we got. That's all we can do. I'll probably overseed here just a little bit to make sure I got it all. Use my GPS. Hopefully that works. Yeah, there it goes. My GPS, aka worker. But yeah, that works pretty good. Not too bad of a line. Soybeans in the ground on Oregon Springs. It is a beautiful, lovely thing, I tell you. Awesome. Probably could have got them planted a little sooner because we're going to be harvesting them kind of late in the year, I would imagine. But that's okay. That is okay. Wouldn't be the first time harvesting soybeans in the snow. Most usually corn, but soybeans can be kind of a late crop too. Yeah, this just annoys me. Oh, I'm going to try to come back the other way. And see if I can get any of that to plant. seem to work that way. Well, that's not too bad then. Okay. Good to know. I am going to continue on here a little bit. Get some soybeans in the ground. Oh, it's a little too sharp there. Not good. And we will check back with you after a little bit. I think that is everything. I hope. Let me just look at my satellite map here, just out of curiosity. Yeah, because of the textures, it was very difficult to kind of tell where you were and where you were going and what you have planted and have not. But that should be everything. Good timing too. I think we'll go get the other one planted yet today. That would be awesome. Then everything is in the ground. There's the logging area right there. You can kind of see I'm kind of up a ways. You maybe see the Scorpion King. That's going to be grass, and I'm going to try to get that in grass when I can. It just makes sense just because of the shape of it. You know, it's not very wide. It's not much of a field. So that would be a good grass area. You know, I don't own any grass, so down the road when animals come, that might come in handy. And before that even too, could make silage bales, make some extra money. Well, let's get over to field, why do I keep 36? 36, yep. And we'll get that planted. That might be a little bit harder one. How am I going to do that? Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of an odd shape. That's why we use the drill here. It would be easier than the planter. But I'll see you over there just a little bit. Oh heck, we're right here. I keep thinking we gotta go miles upon miles. No, it's right here. Never mind. My bad. Yeah, we're just right here. Let's see, I suppose I think we'll just go around it. Either that or a headland here, and then down and back. couple more passes here on field 36. I gotta tell you, this is a bigger field than you think. I mean, it is a long way down there. Just got this little corner to get cleaned up, then the field will be complete. Soybeans in the ground. All the planting is done for the year, and we have one more day of spring left. That's not too shabby at all. That works out quite well. So far, I have not had any trouble. Everything has worked out just fine and dandy. Oops, what do you got there? Great demand at the train station for corn. Well, I don't have any corn, so that is irrelevant to me. Speaking of corn, I never got any corn planted. Huh. I talked about it. Thought maybe that'd be a good idea, but then, no. I suppose I would have had to have purchased a field, and maybe that was the one reason why I didn't buy and plant any corn. I was going to get that one by the BGA and plant some corn, but not this year. That'll be maybe a next year project, I think. That might work out good next year. So now the question is, what to do tomorrow? We have wheat yet to spray, but I don't think it'll reach a second growth stage that soon, so that's probably not going to happen. Logging, it'd be nice if I could get that logging area done and I could get some grass planted in there, because that's kind of my theory. I think that would work just fine. That would be pretty swell. So maybe try to get that done. I'll probably finish up with this, get the seed drill all washed up, and get that put away, and then probably maybe go do some logging. Oh yeah, that's right. I still have the semi loaded with a load of logs, so I have to get that hauled in as well. Just a little shy. Well, I think, let's see, that's done with, yeah, 2 fields planted today, and the sugar beets on field 29 were sprayed. That is absolutely perfect. Everything went well today. Not too bad at all. So yeah, so I think we will leave it there for today. Well, it's still early yet, but time is constraining us to stop. So we'll end it there today. I think for the rest of the day, I will just get this thing cleaned up and put away, and then I'll go sell that trailer full of logs. So that maybe should be probably around, I don't know, 40,000, I'm just guessing. And then maybe I'll get some more logging done, so maybe we can get that field plowed, and then we could plant that. I'm gonna have to rent a seeder to plant grass though, because this thing would just be way too big to go in there. Probably even wider than the whole pass. So there's a couple ones that came out recently that I want to try. So I think we'll maybe have to see if I can get one of those to lease. That sapphire one would be pretty dandy. So I think we'll try to get that done and then go from there. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it useful, maybe even a little entertaining perhaps. If you did, give us a like. We would appreciate that immensely. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that as well. Check out the other videos that have been posted. And yeah, we'll leave it there. With that said, from Oregon Springs, Farmer Min telling you, have yourself a great day and keep them between the ditches. So long.